The race was over. The horse Maximum Security won the 145th Kentucky Derby by 1 3/4 lengths, or had he. After a 20-minute video review, the outcome of the race was overturned and Maximum Security had been disqualified, declaring the second-place finisher, Country House, the winner. Since the debut of instant replay in 1963, its increased popularity has led to its use by officials in a variety of sports, from horse racing to baseball to cricket. Today we'll talk about how it came about and how it's used in sports. Here's a brief history of official replay. George Retzlaff, a Canadian sports producer, made the first replay of a hockey goal in 1955, the 1955-56 hockey season. Tony Verna, a CBS sports director, created a videotape replay while experimenting during the 1960 Rome Olympics. Verna's replay technique was first used on television in 1963 during the Army-Navy football game. Professional sports have repeatedly, throughout the years, resisted instant replay, especially in the late 20th century. A lot of old-fashioned managers and owners alike do not like it, and especially officials, considering that a lot of their calls get overturned, and it really kind of makes them look bad. So, in the NFL, they first used official replay in 1985, and then after that, other sports began to follow suit. The NFL obviously started it, and then the MLB, the NHL, and others began to adopt it in the early to mid 2000s. The rules for these replays were a little bit different in the early days. So they would start by they'd be able to replay a certain call, and officials could look at it and overturn it at that point. So at a certain point, they realized that it was working. So expansions for these teams and for these officials occurred regularly. As I said before, sports that use instant replay to officiate, the NFL, like I said, in 1985, that was the first use, really, of any major sports, any major sporting association. And then in 2007, it became a permanent fixture for the NFL, so now they use it all the time. In 1991, the National Hockey League, they used it to determine if the puck had crossed the goal line. And in 2014, they expanded its use to include a wide variety of calls. They can pretty much use it in all facets of the game. In the MLB, in 2008 was when they first adopted it. And what happened was they could only review home run calls. So if the umpire couldn't tell if it hit the foul pole, couldn't tell if a fan interfered with it, they could go to the official replay, make that call. In 2014, they expanded that, and now they're able to use it for a variety of calls as well, and it's found in most facets of baseball now. Horse racing, as I said in the Derby, they just started using it in 2014, and the 2019 Kentucky Derby was a big deal with these calls. So it kind of shed light on the use of replay and kind of raised a little controversy as well. These are all just examples. There are tons of sports out there using official replay. As I stated before, there's a lot of controversy surrounding official replay. A lot of people think it helps the game. Some think it hurts the game. Officials have even spoken out against it. They say it makes officials worse, takes too much time. A lot of people actually argue that bad calls are just part of the game and teams should have to deal with that. It also, you kind of got a glimpse into the expansion rules that it really complicates things as well. So some arguments for it, though, are that really the main one is that the industry makes too much money for officials to make incorrect calls. North American sports made $73.5 billion last year, so they can't really get those calls wrong. Regardless, it's becoming more and more popular. In conclusion, I've spoken on how official replays come about, what major sports use them, and also the controversy that surrounds it. Regardless of whether or not fans like or dislike this technology, it's not going anywhere. As we look to the future of sports and they're becoming increasingly influenced by technology, instant replay is just the start of this technology. Thank you.